It may be 175 years old, but there is nothing outdated about the Brotherhood Winery in Orange County. With its eclectic array of wines, Brotherhood prides itself on serving the ever-changing palates of its customers.
Taste is really what rules. What we try to do is provide a variety of wines to meet a variety of tastes.
Tucked away in the village of Washingtonville, Brotherhood Winery serves hundreds of thousands of tourists each year. Whether it's their dry Riesling, holiday spice wine, or their port, Brotherhood has a wine for everyone. Selling anywhere between 60 and 80,000 cases each year, it's no wonder why folks from all over not just the Hudson Valley, but New York State choose to visit.
Or from the north part of New Jersey, Connecticut, and New York State as well. So over 100,000 people last year.
The winery is considered America's oldest consecutive producer of wine. That's because throughout the 13 years of Prohibition, Brotherhood stayed open to provide communion wine to churches, something they still do till this very day. Founded in 1839, the winery has gone through 6 owners over the course of its tumultuous history. Having survived 2 world wars and depressions, owners were forced to sell their land in order to stay afloat. This is why Brotherhood doesn't have a vineyard on premises and instead sources their grapes from all over New York State, including Long Island and the Finger Lakes. Its location has its benefits depending on your taste.
Being that it is a cooler climate, our colder weather is very conducive to Cabernet Sauvignon, to Chardonnay, to Riesling.
Once fermented, the wine is stored and aged in oak barrels close to 15 feet below ground, after which it's time to enjoy, either at home or in the winery's tasting room.
It's a great summertime wine.
It's a region and state poised to become the new Napa Valley.
Hudson Valley, for example, there are 14 wineries just in our little Schwangunk wine trail alone. Then the Finger Lakes has expanded tremendously. So we have been developing our own viticultural areas.
For Explore New York, I'm Bridget Sayage.
I'm still think they got the wrong guy.
Gary Sinise couldn't be more right as the recipient of this year's Thayer Award. And no, it's not for his acting. In fact, when he speaks about his passion for helping veterans, he's doing anything but.
Decided to start visiting them, and then I started looking for military charities to support and try to raise money for them, and then I started to try to entertain them. And it ramped up all the way into the creation of my own foundation.
On Thursday, the Corps of Cadets at West Point paraded in Sinise's honor. Thousands saying thank you for all he's done to support veterans, including his creation of the Gary Sinise Foundation, dedicated to the betterment of veterans' lives. Sinise follows a long line of distinguished award recipients, 57 to be exact, among them presidents, activists, and visionaries like Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ross Perot, and Madeleine Albright. The Thayer Award is given to a civilian who exemplifies the qualities upon which West Point prides itself: duty, honor, and country.
For decades, Gary Sinise has dedicated himself to doing a little more for our nation's servicemen and women veterans and their families.
One of his many efforts includes founding the Lieutenant Dan Band in 2003, named after his character in Forrest Gump. The band goes around the world performing for servicemen and women, lifting the spirits of those who at times may need it the most.
Each day we strive to serve and honor the needs of our defenders, our first responders, and their families.
Sinise's love of acting is perhaps only surpassed by his passion for helping veterans. A vocal supporter of America's defenders since the days of Vietnam, he's continued to champion the cause and hasn't looked back since. At the United States Military Academy at West Point, Bridget Sayage, Time Warner Cable News. School's out and summer's in full swing. Sounds like a dream to most people. But for parents who have children on the autism spectrum, every second spent out of the classroom is a second their child's development could be regressing. But for children like Ryan Harriman, attending the summer program at the Center for Spectrum Services in Ellenville, that's not a worry.
What they teach our kid, we try to teach at home because what they're doing is working.
Cindy Harriman is Ryan's mom. Since being diagnosed with autism in January of 2014, the 4-year-old's journey has been a challenging one.
Kiss. Give Mom a kiss.
Challenging, but inspiring.
He was never saying mom, he says mom now. He plays with my daughter. Last year he had no interest ever playing in a slide or going down a slide. Now he wants to play and do those kind of things.
The nonprofit center hosts a 6-week summer program paid for by the state aimed at reinforcing what the children have learned during the year. The kids, ages 3 to 8, participate in workshops where they receive one-on-one attention.
In September, even though we'll have a few weeks off in August, it's not the entire summer that the kids are off. So when we start back up again in September, we pick right up where we left off.
And don't let this playground fool you. The learning continues and the fun begins once they go outside to their other classroom.
It is not a break from learning. Every minute is learning. And for the kids out here, outdoor classroom means a place to use your language, a place to learn social skills, a place to improve your motor skills.
A lot of thought went into the design of this playground to make it as easy as possible for children on the autism spectrum to navigate through. For instance, this 2-seated bike, designed to encourage socializing and trust between children. And for Cindy, seeing Ryan's progress over the last year gives her something she never had before: hope.
When he started the school here, I was seeing things changing, and then now I can look at him and be like, he can do this, and he will do this. So they give you hope. It's great.
In Ellenville, Bridget Sayage, Time Warner Cable News.
Warwick at the lumber yard we have been telling you about, still burning hot hours after flames first broke out there. Let's get you right there to the scene. Time Warner Cable News' Bridget Sayage, not too far away from the flames there. Bridget, what's the latest?
Good evening, Solomon. Like you said, the massive fire is still burning here at Midstate Lumber in Warwick. Smoke and flames taking over the sky. Close to 20 fire departments responding to the scene. Now, this is a non-hydrant area, meaning that they are relying on water tanks for their supply. Earlier today, we spoke to a fire official who told us that this was being investigated as a crime scene, but the Orange County Fire Coordinator tells us that they are still investigating and have not yet determined a cause. Now, the main building as well as surrounding structures completely destroyed. Dozens of emergency responders have been working for hours now to contain this fire. One fire official describing the difficulty that they're facing.
Everything's compressed. It's going to take time and equipment and manpower to actually pull all the equipment apart to get to all the fire that's burning throughout.
Again, now no cause yet for what started this fire. Officials do tell us that one firefighter has been treated for minor injuries. There is a natural gas line here as well, and that's what they were concerned about. ONR came in and we're taking care of that as well. That's the latest here in Warwick. Back to you.
Bridget, any idea, have investigators kind of gotten a handle on how long it's going to take to get this fire out?
Solomon, one fire official told me, that coordinator that you heard from says that they're not sure. Again, it is very difficult because of the wood and how condensed it is over here, but they're just trying to keep everyone safe and work as efficiently and quickly as possible.
Absolutely. That's our Bridget Sayage with the latest for us in Warwick. Bridget, thank you.
Save the bees, save the world.
And save the bees is exactly what one Wallkill homeowner chose to do. Even after realizing that a hive carrying tens of thousands of bees had made a home on the side of his.
When I saw that thing, when they opened that up, I was totally surprised. I could not believe, I knew there was going to be a bunch in there, but nothing what I experienced. Absolutely nothing.
Marcel Wichard has been in the beekeeping business for more than 20 years. He says the worst thing you could do is call an exterminator or douse a beehive in chemicals. He says bees are a vital part of human life.
I'm the only one that does that.
And he's right. Honeybees pollinate nearly 1/3 of all the world's food.
Apples, pear, peaches, plums, all those. Without bees, you would not have those food. They will be starved. People will starve.
Marcel says it's important to understand that bees only sting when provoked, and that when they do, they die. So with a lifespan of only 45 days, they're not looking to make their lives any shorter.
13 million bees. I don't put no Sudan.
Marcel's 2 sons spent most of the day taking apart the hive and storing it, piece by piece, in boxes. This ensures not only the safety of the bees, but that they will continue to produce honey for as long as they are able. Delicious honey.
Without bees, we will starve, and I don't want to starve yet.
In the town of Wallkill, Bridget Sayage, Time Warner Cable News.
They say good things come to those who wait. For these students, 12 years of schooling was long enough. Which is why graduation is so special.
I'm so excited to be here, you know. Class of 2015. Took 12 years, we're here now.
But their wait is nothing compared to this grad's patience.
I'm 89 years old and I'm still plugging along.
In 1944, Edward Palmer left high school before he could graduate to join the Army. He fought on the European front in World War II, where he earned a Purple Heart.
I got shot 6 times. I was in the hospital a whole year before I got out.
But after all these years, Palmer was still missing one thing, a high school diploma. So earlier this year, a friend reached out to Liberty High School on behalf of Palmer, helping him receive a diploma through Operation Recognition.
It was very easy, just take the paperwork that he received from the military, and I said, you are going to be coming to graduation.
It was very much of a big surprise for me when they told me that I was going to get a diploma.
On Saturday morning, the long-awaited moment finally became a reality as Palmer walked across the stage and received his diploma.
I do my best. I do my best.
To think that so many years passed and we at Liberty were able to make this happen, it's his dream come true.
With a diploma now in hand, many of these students will now be heading off to college, but others will be joining the military like Mr. Palmer.
I'm going in the Air Force for 6 years first, I signed for. Just seeing that he can do all that and still graduate at the end is very inspirational.
I think the touching part was after all the graduates left, the people that came to share their gratitude and to also congratulate him. I think that, more than anything, speaks volumes.
As for what's next for Palmer, well, he plans on putting that diploma to work.
I think I'm going to go look for a job.
For a man that has accomplished so much, you just never know. In Liberty, Jackson Wang, Time Warner Cable News.
He's been a member of the Monticello Police Department for most of his life and has helped keep the streets safe from crime. He also walks on all fours. On Thursday, K9 Rocco walked those familiar streets for his final time in that special role.
He lives with you, he's in the car with you all the time, you know, he's always there for you.
At the ripe age of 9, Rocco was ready for retirement. Officer John Cavello has worked alongside Rocco since day one and says the past 6.5 years have been great with the sidekick as reliable as he is. Whether it's a drug bust, a building search, or simply companionship, Rocco was always up to the task.
He's always with me, driving around. If I need him, if my backup is, say, 5 minutes away, I don't have to wait. I just call him and he's right there if I need him in an emergency situation.
You could call Rocco a workhorse, working 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. To top it all off, he's every employer's dream.
He's come to work every day, he never complained. Never called in sick. He was always there for Officer Cavello, and he did a lot of good work for the police department.
Rocco's been a loyal member of the small police department for many years, loyal and effective, having participated in more than 15 apprehensions over the course of his career. As for Rocco's retirement plans, he'll be living full-time with Officer Cavello and his family. No doubt a change of pace for this furry and fearless protector.
Just gotta get used to it, I guess. I mean, not coming to work with me anymore. It's gonna be, I guess, sad for both of us.
In Monticello, Bridget Sayage, Time Warner Cable News.